Good evening and welcome to this scheduled meeting of the Milford School Committee. Today is Thursday, March 20th, 2025, and this meeting is being broadcast and recorded by Milford TV. Copies can be obtained at the request of this board or through central office. So tonight we're going to start with an executive session to review the superintendent applicants. We will return after this executive session is over, whenever that concludes. So I need a roll call vote to enter executive session.
Yes.
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 I'm also a yes. Thank you. So we will enter executive session now, and we'll come back when we're done. Hello, welcome back to our open portion of this meeting. We're all done with our executive session, and we're going to jump right into announcements, correspondence, and distribution. Does any member have anything for that? Nothing from you guys. All right, so I have a couple things here. Item number one, I will let you guys know, and I'll forward this email as well, that I received something from the Director of HR at Town Hall. The town is going to be doing a live open meeting law training this spring. It's actually April 14th. There's two times that they outline, 1 o'clock and I think 3:30 or something like that. Labor Council attorney Kate Federoff is going to be doing it. The purpose of this is just to bring everybody up to speed and I guess provide reminders and some training on meetings, quorums, communication, deliberation, executive sessions, and all that stuff. So if you're interested and you have time, you can email the Director of HR at Town Hall and get involved in that. So I will pass that email off to everybody. Just note this down before I forget. And then the last thing I have on here that has snuck up on me a couple times, and thank you, Chris, for making sure I did not forget about it today, is this is Robin's last meeting. So I just wanted to say thank you, obviously, and give everybody the opportunity to say whatever they like about the time you spent and the sacrifice you made to give your time to the community and to the school committee. And I know, we all know the amount of work and time that gets put into this thankless job at times. So we appreciate your time with us. Okay, so we're going to pass over invitation to speak for now, only because I believe we may actually have somebody coming to speak who I spoke with in email, so I'll wait until the end on that one. So that brings me to the general chairperson update. So I have two updates here. One is on personnel, one is on the roof. I'll start with the personnel update because it's a little bit quicker. We had some questions about the personnel update from a couple meetings ago, and it was related to two things. It was related to the girls' track, I believe, and the boys' lacrosse. We had some vacancies that were trying to be covered by different people in the district. So as of right now, the track position is being covered by, I believe, the boys' coach. It's going to be able to handle both. I talked to Dr. McIntyre, and he said that the boys and girls' track teams are generally together at most of their meets, so they have plenty of assistance, and they're working on trying to find a permanent coach for the girls' team. And then I believe it was Tuesday this week, the boys' lacrosse position was filled, so that checked off some of those boxes that I think some people had some questions on. High school roof, so somewhat of a subcommittee update as well, I guess, in here. Chris, John, and I met as the facilities subcommittee last week with Carlos and Kevin. We reviewed 5 quotes that were received and discussed kind of a plan of action for what's been going on with the roof. So essentially what it's come down to is it's a two-part process here. Facilities and administration are going to work to identify one of the vendors who is going to come and try to make immediate repairs to the space in the hallway just outside here and over the front doors. Aside from that, we discussed and asked facilities to go get quotes on bringing in a company to do a deeper assessment on the roof as a whole. So we have a infrared reading of the roof from the current vendor, Tremco, from 2022, I believe. And they basically take like a moisture reading through the roof to get an understanding of moisture content. We're asking to have that done again, and then some, potentially to have different spots checked to see what's going on. So we have not heard anything back about the quotes for that, but it's going to be a 2-part piece: fix any immediate damage, and then also try to get an assessment of what we're looking at to try to get this roof to the end of its life. So there'll be more information to come on that. Did you guys have anything to add to that piece?
No, that sums it up. Just a reminder that we do have a roof that's had a life expectancy of 18 or 20 years. we're into 22 years or more, 23, and, we don't know that we have a new school. We may have an addition to the school. We may be building out or up, which I said at, the last meeting, but, this roof needs to serve us for at least the next 4 or 5, 6 years at a minimum, and a portion of it or a majority of it might need to serve for another 20 years. So we have too many unknowns in this school building process. So it's not like, a new school is right around the corner, because it's not. So,
Right.
I mean, I know everybody here is aware of that, but for anybody watching that maybe they didn't see the last meeting, I just wanted to point that out.
Very good. Thank you. All right. Next up, we have an update on the superintendent search. So we're going further than this. About 2 weeks ago, we opened up the position and accepted applications. That window closed on the 18th. We had a good amount of applicants come in, and this evening we started the night with reviewing the applicants to determine who was believed to be fitting of the qualifications and the needs of our district. The decision that was made in executive session tonight was that we had a lone candidate to move forward with, and that was Dr. Craig Consigli, who's our current assistant superintendent. So the discussion that we have in front of us now is around support for Dr. Consigli and whether or not he is the individual that we would like to move forward with as our new superintendent starting on July 1st. So I'd like to open up the floor to anyone who has any comments or thoughts about Dr. Consigli as our potential next superintendent.
I'll go first.
Go ahead. We'll just go right around. That works.
Yeah, certainly Craig has been a member of our district for over 25 years. Starting off as a school teacher, then as a principal at multiple schools, and then most recently, and for a duration of many years, as the assistant superintendent. So I think looking at some of the other candidates, yes, there were individuals that were qualified for the job, but I think that Craig Consigli was hands down the most qualified, and the person that knows our school. And when you start considering the fact that we do have the school building project coming up, and Craig has also handled many new initiatives as far as the math program and the English program that we hope to move forward. So again, I feel like in my book, Craig is our guy.
Yeah, thank you. So, we know we have Craig Consigli. He's been working for the school for roughly 27 years. To me, that's almost been like a 27-year job interview for this position. He served in multiple capacities. He's excelled at all of them. He knows the needs of the district. He knows the needs of the students. He knows the needs and the support needed for the teachers. And equally important, all of the colleagues that he'll have, or they know him very well too, and they clearly have an outstanding working relationship. So, to me, this was the logical progression for our district. I kind of hinted at that last week that I felt that way, or maybe I said it, but I support that wholeheartedly. I think this is probably the most important decision I've been a part of in almost 9 years on this committee. I think it's going to have long-lasting effects, and I think that Craig Consigli is the right individual to move this district forward. So that's why I supported it, or that's why I wanted to move Craig forward, and presumably go forward from there.
Yeah, I'll just keep it really short. Dr. Consigli obviously is immensely qualified. I'm excited to see what he can do in this position. He's obviously done so much for this district for the last 25 plus years. And he has our full support, my full support for sure. And I think everyone here also agrees.
Great, thank you. Echoing what John just said, hiring a superintendent is one of the, if not the most important jobs that a school committee can have. And so I'm glad we snuck this in before our time was up. Speaking about Dr. Consigli specifically, just looking at his resume, knowing him as a person, he's someone who has worked as a teacher and as an administrator, and now in the central office in our district in multiple grade levels. He's worked at the elementary, middle schools, and now he's here in the high school in his current role. Well, part of the reason why I was so adamant before that we do open the search and look at other candidates, it wasn't that I necessarily had any doubts about Dr. Consigli, but now I feel assured that looking internally and externally, the entire applicant pool, he is by far the most appropriate and would be a really sought after candidate, even if he wasn't our internal pick. So I'm very excited for this next chapter in Milford Public Schools, and I'm happy to be leaving the committee at a time where it looks like we are going into really, really positive avenues, and I'm excited to have a conversation, or have the committee have a conversation with Dr. Consigli about this.
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, I think when you think about sort of commitment to Milford and our students and our staff and our families, you'd be hard pressed to find anyone that could exceed sort of the commitment that Dr. Consigli has shown us for the last 20 plus years. So I think, you know, having the chance to have reviewed resumes, Robin, I certainly supported kind of us navigating that process. I think it was worthwhile, but I think to bring other people in would actually be a waste of time at this point, because I think our bar is so high that it would just be unfair to take time out of individuals when we have someone who's so qualified. So excited to move forward. It was also really touching. I think we all have know the references that were provided, and I think it just adds additional validation in terms of substantiating. I know my own opinion, but it's great to see that be validated by so many. So.
Sure. Well, I won't go around saying the same almost as everybody else, but similar feelings. I think that Dr. Consigli is more than earned the opportunity to take this role on. And for me, aside from obviously his highly clear qualifications on paper, you have the character of the person too, and there's somebody in him that's highly committed to their craft and has a deep desire to make a difference. And I think there's just no one out there that's qualified and available that that's anywhere near as connected to our community or the success of our students. So I think that by far and away that he is the next guy, and I'm excited to see where this district can go with him leading. So with that, we do have an opportunity to entertain a motion tonight if anyone is willing to make it at this time. I can help with the wording unless you guys got it. Go ahead.
No, I'll motion to offer the position of Superintendent of Milford Public Schools to Dr. Craig Consigli pending successful contract negotiations.
Okay. Motion by John. Second. Second by Megan. Any more discussion? None. I see none. All right. All in favor? It's unanimous. Thank you.
And then can I make a secondary motion
Please.
to allow the chair and the vice chair to enter into preliminary discussions to bring something into a future executive session?
Sure. Motion by motion by John. Second by Chris. Any discussion? Sorry.
Thank you for the efficiency, John.
All in favor?
My pleasure.
That's also unanimous. Thank you. Let me just take note on that.
Matt, I apologize. Can I go back to announcements just for 1 second?
Absolutely.
I'm sorry. I anticipated we would go around the table, and so Robin, I would be remiss if I didn't say how wonderful it's been working with you over the past few years. I think you brought such a great perspective with your professional experience as well, and you've just been such a true advocate for all of our special needs children, including everyone in our whole district. And so it's been a true honor to work with you, and I've learned a lot. So we miss you.
Thank you.
Sorry. Thanks, Matt.
Sure.
Is now a good time for that, Matt?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm still ready. I'm still
Same.
ready.
No, I was going to wait to the
I didn't
end,
wanna
but I'm
go.
glad you brought it back up, so no problem. Yeah, thank you for your time served. I know, obviously, it's, as you know, it's not the easiest of easy to be here every Thursday night, or every other Thursday night, and all the time in between, you know, especially when you have a family. So, but we appreciate, you know, you've worked for the school district, you're educating the future of our school districts. So I think that what you've brought to our district, sitting in the seat that you're at right now, has been extremely beneficial. Your voice as a professional and as a parent, you know, has been second to none. So really appreciate it. Enjoy your free time. Enjoy your free time with your daughter.
Thank you.
Anyone else? John? Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I'll echo most of those sentiments, or all of them, and thank you for your time, your commitment. It's not an easy job. It's not easy from day one when you put your papers out there and you have to do the campaign and you get scrutinized by the public and you get questioned by pretty much everyone. But, you know, so I appreciate everything that they've said and that you have brought to this committee, and Also, how well you worked with all of us here. We don't always agree, and you and I come from totally different backgrounds. You've got the education and the, the educational background, so to speak, and I bring more of the municipal side. But, the fact that all these different experiences, we've all seven of us, I'm really proud to have worked with you and everybody else here. But, tonight's your night, so thank you.
Yeah, Robin, I'm really sad that I don't get to work with you in this capacity any further, but please continue to reach out and be an advocate to us, because I think your perspective on so many things that we discuss on a bi-weekly basis here is so valuable, and I'm going to miss a lot of that. I'm certainly going to miss you as a person too. Obviously, you'll still be around. I'll see you out running and such, but yeah, really appreciate everything you've done.
Thank you.
Anything you want to say?
I mean, it's been a great experience, and my decision to not seek re-election is nothing about the role or any of the other people in the room, other than the fact that it is the time commitment. And I actually, very sweet, told my daughter this morning that tonight was my last school committee meeting. She actually made me a present at school today, and she was very excited to show me, and she was telling everyone, it's my mom's last school committee meeting. And then at dinner tonight, she actually said to me, does this mean that you're going to have more time with me? And I said, this is 100% what it's about. So it was just really nice that she got it. And I remember 3 years ago when I ran, and she would stand by my side and say, vote for my mom. And so I think that experience, she was able to relate to social studies, understand it, but now she just needs her mom a little bit more. And I'm happy to give that to her. And I'm happy that, I think that the committee is in a really great place, and I'm excited to see what Mr. Sobers does when he joins the committee in 2 weeks. So, yeah.
Excellent. Thank you. All right. We can cross that one off. And are you all set? Ready to chat? Okay, we will go back to invitation to speak right now then. So we can do that now. Invitation to speak is a public feedback forum for the school committee, allowing members to listen to and understand community concerns. It's obviously not intended for debate. The speaker should provide their name and keep their comments to 3 minutes or less, unless otherwise extended by the chair, and the full policy can be found under code BEDH.
Here?
Yeah,
Yes,
either one's fine.
Either one, just because they have a mic.
I don't need a mic. All right, my name's Helene Ciccone. I know you all know me. For 20 years now, I've been a Milford school parent of Milford Public Schools. I have volunteered every single year. I volunteer more actually for my younger two kids, since I don't have little kids at home. I had a meeting with Josh about something very trivial, and it ended really quick because we took care of it. And then I just brought, since I had all this extra time, I brought up the meeting, security, staff, all that at the school. And I was shocked to learn that there's not a team of like campus aides that are just the eyes and ears of the school. I know B-Dog, and I can't think of the other lady's name, they do a great job checking people in and all that, but if them and the principals are the only like authority, that is insane. I went to Newton North High School. There was 1,000 kids in each grade, and this was 30 years ago. We had 3 campus aid staffs that walked around. That was plenty for 4,000 kids. I learned that Josh has asked for the past 2 years for the same thing that many high schools have, and it's been turned down by school committee. And I think that that is insane on the count of everyone here. I'm not sure if you have kids in the school, but everyone here has kids that have gone to or are coming to the school. People have spouses, daughters that work in the school. And the bathroom situation has always been crazy. And I get it that when kids are together, they share a brain, and behavior is contagious. So if one kid goes in and does something stupid, they'll all do it. The students definitely outweigh the kids. And if there's not people that are just the eyes and ears, then it's up to the staff, and that's not fair. My kids, I have 3 that have already successfully graduated. I have 1 left, and sorry. I can't believe that this has come to school committee 2 years in a row, and I didn't know, and I blame myself. But I know you guys can't answer me. I'm not gonna let this go. There is a guest speaker that comes for the past 3 years. His name, I'm probably gonna butcher it, Shiraki Hawley. It costs $10,000. It is a grant. This isn't, money from taxpayers. $10,000 a year, 3 years in a row, same speech. They put him up in a hotel and feed him. I think that is a grant that can go without, since he has said the same speech 3 years in a row to the staff. If I don't know much about how to ask for grants, but if we can't afford to staff 3 campus aides for a high school, then everything needs to be like broken down. This is insane. I'm gonna come to school committee meeting until we get this. A huge, huge part, not just destruction of bathrooms. People that I know that went to school here always had somebody sit outside to check the bathrooms. I get it, even if there's 3 campus aides, that can't be a thing. But if there are people walking around asking kids, where are you supposed to be right now? Great, let me walk you there. Go walking in and out of the bathroom. I think it should be like 2 moms, busybody moms who know everybody, and maybe like a retired cop. I would literally go for that job if it came up. And I would only do it until 2027 when Christopher graduates, but that's how passionate I am. The last thing I want to show, and this is hard to watch, but let me get the volume going. Is if you check your kids' phones, I'm sure you will find fights like this. This is an uncameraed part of the building. This fight broke out. 2 fights broke out, never broken up by staff. Staff didn't know. This was at the end of the day. And the kids share, I don't know who recorded this. They all do it. All your kids have fights on their phone if they're in high school. And then I have one more. But, all right, I'm not even going to bother showing that. I have a ton of these. There's one that was a girl fight, and a teacher got flung. And she was doing the right thing, breaking it up, but that's not her job. Most of my kids have had the same teachers. I've never had a problem with a Milford High School teacher. I love all my kids' teachers. It's not their job to police the kids. Some of these kids go to the bathroom, don't come back for 10 minutes. It's like anarchy around here. That's crazy, and it's not fair to the staff. This needs to get fulfilled. I can't believe it's allowed that a high school can not have campus aid security just for that one purpose. Teachers work very hard, and it's not their job. And that's it. Thank you. And I know you guys can't answer me, but like I said, until this gets granted, I'm going to keep coming back. And I really, really appreciate Josh for bringing this to everybody's attention for 2 years, and I'm disappointed that it didn't get fulfilled.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks.
Yes.
If I can, so we can't engage directly on the subject, so I won't do that. If we did that, that could be an open meeting law violation. But what we can do as a committee is decide whether we want to put this on as an agenda item. And what I suggest, I probably suggested in the past, like I know you pretty well. If you reach out to me offline, just as an elected official, and we talk about this more at length, I can bring some of this back, because that's the first I'm seeing of those videos. So I'm not saying you did anything wrong by coming here and sharing this, but you can do more offline when we don't have an agenda item that we can't really get into. But
Yeah, no, I will do whatever it takes on my part,
so
because
I'm
I think
sure
it's really important.
I
I
can't
think
speak for
that,
anybody, but I'm sure everybody here would be willing to
exactly, like,
talk to you and get a
it's-
better sense of some of the specific concerns. I mean, we all have a general concern for safety, but
And, I want to say one last thing. School shootings, come on, you know? I'm not one of those people who likes to fan the flames on that, but it's insane. And I hope that my post this morning got a lot of people watching this, because I know that any parent I've told since last week had no idea. So thank you all for your time.
Thank you.
thank you.
Okay. Just catching up. All right, so that brings us up to the consent agenda now. We will have 18 warrants and the approval of minutes from 5 different meetings on this list. Does anything need to be pulled for that? Nothing.
Sorry,
right?
pardon? What'd you say?
Nothing. Does anything have to be pulled for the minutes of the consent agenda? You had some corrections.
Yes, just a couple quick corrections on the March 6th regular meeting and the March 13th budget meeting.
Okay.
And they're just, I think, typographical.
Okay, so just editorial corrections.
Yep.
Okay. We'll go for taking the vote and moving everything forward with any corrections. Could you please send those to Melissa? Okay. So the consent agenda is going to include 18 warrants in the amount of $1,575,966.40, and the approval of minutes as follows: the February 27th, 2025 regular meeting, the February 27th, 2025 executive session. These are approval only. The March 6th, 2025 regular meeting with some edits. March 6th, 2025 budget meeting, and the March 13th, 2025 budget meeting with edits. Your motion to approve. Motion by Brendan, second by Megan. Any discussion? There is none. All in favor? Unanimous, thank you. Subcommittee updates. I'll throw out there, obviously, that long-range planning facilities met. I already talked about that, so I won't start over.
Labor and management met on Tuesday. No real glaring issues throughout the district, which was really good. You know, kind of chasing a few things here and there that can't be wrapped up without any major efforts. So yeah, it was good to hear.
Okay. Nothing else? Future agenda items.
So this is more a suggestion, since I won't be here, but based on what we just heard, I do think it'd be advantageous for the committee to consider having administration, at least at the high school, if not district-wide, present on what are the current security and safety policies and protocols, just so everyone is aware.
Do we want to also include the police department in that conversation as well?
What was it?
You want to include the police department in that conversation as well?
I would, I guess, recommend we start with
Okay.
perhaps the dean of students and the high school principal, and if they want to continue on with other involvement. Like, we'll lay it out there for them to decide, I guess. Just taking notes on this.
Mr. Chair, and to add on that as you're taking your notes with that, there was the discussion candidate AIDS, but I guess, is there a level of vandalism? So I'd like to know, is vandalism being reported? And if so, to what degree? And does that point towards the need of campus aids?
Absolutely.
And then also a review of I would assume that the handbook must have a section on bathroom passes, right? And what that looks like, whether either that's from the staff side or the student side. So, but at least to kind of be better informed, because if we're seeing vandalism in the bathrooms, then all right, how do we stymie that? You know, and is there some level of modifications to the handbook that we need to look at?
Sure. All right, I would obviously agree with those. I think that that's a very interesting thing to look into, especially after what we heard tonight. Curious what more information we have not maybe heard yet, or what was missed in different times. So I think that that's certainly a discussion to reopen and try to figure out what's going on a little deeper here, especially since we're not done with the budget season yet. So there is still time to obviously work something in if it's necessary. So anything else for future agenda items?
Yes. Stipends. And I think we need to do a complete review of stipends. I think I know we need to put some pressure on, and let's discuss the need for descriptions on these stipends. And, you know, what exactly is, you know, the job title and the scope of work and the level of expectation. So I really would like to go over what we've had in the past, what we expect in the future, and set expectations.
Excellent. Anything else? I see not. Okay. Just gonna double check that I actually hit everything here. I did. Okay. That brings us to adjournment. If nobody has anything else to share, we do not have anything further, including any executive sessions tonight, so we'll be ending the meeting. Take a motion to adjourn. Motion by Robin, second by Brendan. All in favor? It's unanimous. Thank you.